Welcome back to Boston's End of the Chat. He is Rob King, the voice of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Big matchup for the Patriots. Aaron Rodgers back in New England. Woo. This time, repping the black and gold, taking on the Pats. Both teams 1-1. But first things first, Rob, good morning. Thanks for joining us. How you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Doing well. And thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
Excited to get into this matchup. But let's start with, it all starts with the quarterback. We know the defense is going to be great from Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Now, Aaron Rodgers, week 1 against the Jets, his arch nemesis, the whole offense looked terrific. He was slinging touchdowns. Take a setback against the Seahawks, who are going to be one of the better teams when we look back on this season. What do you make of the Steelers and their offense, especially that offensive line so far?
Well, I think that's the biggest question right now on the offense. Aaron Rodgers has looked great. He made a throw in that game on a ball that was dropped that was incredible. Showing once again he's got the arm talent, showed some escapability. At his age, he's still got some athleticism, but you don't want to continue to rely on that. What you want is the offensive line to step up and give him plenty of time, and that really hasn't been the case. The running game hasn't been going. Now, having said that, Troy Fautano is a first-time starter at right tackle. Broderick Jones has never started at left tackle. He's been a starter at right tackle. So it's going to take some time probably for the offensive line to gel. I'm still bullish on what the offense can be, but I think maybe some of us who are bullish on the team are perhaps a little guilty of expecting that to come a little too soon. New England's going to be a very difficult team to run against. I think the Steelers would love to establish the run. This is going to be a tough week to do that, but they've got to find a way, if they can't run, to exploit the secondary, which has been, I think, a little bit of an issue for New England, and try to throw the ball down the field and score points. However you score points. This time of the year, guys, I don't care if you win 3-2. Just win, and eventually your team will get better.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, we've been talking Red Sox all morning, so we hear you on that. I'm curious. I want you to educate me here. What's the perception of Drake Maye outside of this market? Because in this market, I feel as though fans, media members, most of us love the guy. You have some naysayers here or there who are already calling him a draft bust, but we know they're morons. Mm-hmm. What do you guys say? Like, it's leading up this week talking Patriots football from your angle. What's sort of the perception of Drake Maye?
Well, I'll tell you what. I do a show with a guy named Matt Williamson, and Matt is, extremely well known around NFL circles. Was a scout for the Cleveland Browns. Worked as an analyst for many years for ESPN. He's on I'm on a podcast with him, or not a podcast, a show with him, and some other things. And at the end of the last show, he said, I hate to break it to you, but I think Drake Maye might be the next great quarterback of the AFC.
Wow.
I love this guy.
So.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does he see? Why did he say that?
Well, I can't speak for Matt as to what he's seen, but I think that he's got, he looks like he's got lots of composure. He throws a good ball, and the ability to run, guys. I mean, the days where you could just step back and pick apart a team. I mean, there are Joe Burrows out there. We understand that, but the ability to be mobile is just backbreaking, and he's got that ability to be mobile, and on top of the other stuff that he can do. So he's clearly a really good athlete, good arm talent. I mean, I don't see what there is not to like about Drake Maye. Let's put it that way. He's now, the touchdown interception ratio wasn't great last year at 15-10, I think it was, but still, you expect that with young quarterbacks. I mean, here in Pittsburgh, people forget a couple years into his career, Ben Roethlisberger led the league in interceptions. Yeah, it's going to happen as you go along and you develop. You have to learn what you can still get away with in the NFL that you could get away with in the college ranks. And the smart ones make a throw. They think it's going to be a completion. It gets intercepted, and they file it away and say, don't ever do that again. Yeah. And Drake Maye looks like he's going to be one of those guys that does that.
Hey, and for him to have success throwing the ball, the Patriots are going to have to run it. That's what they corrected from week 1 to week 2.
Facts.
Under center a ton, being really persistent with Ramondre Stevenson and working in Antonio Gibson more. And that would set up the play action, which Drake Maye loved. It was moving the chains for them. It was getting guys open. Yep. Because this isn't the most talented receiving core. They're not fast. They're not super athletic.
They're not good.
But they're not that good.
They're not
just
good.
Being blunt. But for the Steelers' defense, we know there have been some issues on the secondary since Mika Fitzpatrick was traded away, but you added Jalen Ramsey. But this run defense still is legit. You guys still have a lot of dogs up front. Mm-hmm. What will be the key for the Steelers' run defense, you feel, this Sunday against the Pats?
Well, they do have the dogs up front, and I don't know, as we sit here now, I don't know whether Derek Harmon is going to be playing or not. He was their first-round pick. So last year when Cam Hayward wasn't on the field, the Steelers defense could be run against. When he was on the field, they were extremely difficult to run against. They've had their problems through the first 2 weeks. Now, the Jets are a run-heavy team. The Jets are going to do to other teams what they did to the Steelers. But, there's some concern in Steeler land because people remember back to the playoff game against the Ravens and the Ravens running for almost 300 yards of offense against them. And now these first 2 games, you didn't stop Seattle all that well on the ground. You didn't stop the Jets. And the weakness has been running when teams run left and away from T.J. Watt. When they run at T.J. Watt, they can't run. When they run away from T.J. Watt, they've had great success. And guess what? You got Will Campbell over there, who looks like he's going to be a great player. I love how they're trying to build through the lines. You have Barmore, and you go out and get Milton Williams, and now you have these young guys on the left side. That's been the Steelers' bugaboo. They've got to find a way to stop that because I'm sure Mike Vrabel's looked at that tape. Everybody's looked at that tape and said, hey, the Steelers have not been able to stop the run when it's going left. And that's where Cam Hayward resides. And the Steelers are going to have to, they're not going to have Alex Highsmith, who's a very good edge setter, outside linebacker this week. So that's going to be, I think that might be the biggest telling point of the game. If the Patriots can run left in particular, because I think they'll have trouble running right, but if they can run left and do it consistently, that's going to be very good for them and not very good for the Steelers.
That's interesting because their game script week 1, now they did lose, was they only ran the ball on the left side. And you bring up Will Campbell, it's the other rookie next to him at left guard, Jared Wilson. Their strength is run blocking. So I love that you point out, particularly when offenses run to the left, how they could set up for success and kind of exploit this Steelers defense. What have you seen when it comes to this offense being under Aaron Rodgers, more from the leadership standpoint? Because we know the aura he would bring to any locker room, but what have you felt is different about the Steelers, this team being in the building, being around them, now that Rodgers is the quarterback and is their guy leading the offense?
Yeah, when the Steelers went up to camp in Latrobe, you're wondering how this guy, 41 years old, and now he's living in a dorm room. With DK Metcalf, by the way, they're sharing a dorm room. He didn't even have his own room, They go away for camp, and I just briefly asked him, I said, hey, how do you like it? He goes, I love it. And the players came in and out of his room. I mean, look, these guys grew up playing. I'm not a gamer, my Nintendo or whatever the heck. I don't know what it is. Game Boy, I don't know what it is. But they all, I mean, he was on their games, right? They grew up watching them, and they're playing them on games. And how can you not be in awe of what he's done? And I think he's the right blend of veteran leadership, no nonsense. He's a no nonsense guy. I mean, he is not a look at me. I mean, he walks around in his flip flops and his t-shirt and shorts and in and out, very businesslike. But I think the team has gravitated toward him. He still clearly has arm talent, and when you think about Aaron Rodgers, people are going to have their own minds made up about what kind of a person he is. I'm just looking at the football player, and he's got a lot of football left in him. And I think, I've never really heard any teammates saying anything negative about Aaron Rodgers. I think a lot of people have a lot of positive things to say about him as a leader and always have. So I think that part's absolutely fine and a plus for the Steelers.
Hey, essentially, Vegas has this game as a pick 'em if you're into that sort of thing. I need a prediction from you. We only have a minute left. How do you see this game playing out?
Yeah, I'm not a Vegas guy, but I do think that sounds right to me. Like this is going to be a close game, and I don't know what the Patriots story is going to be. They've won 4 games each of the last couple of years, but I think any team early in the year that has belief, and I think Mike Vrabel from the outside looking in looks like they play hard and they've got belief, and those teams are dangerous. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game.
Okay.
Of course, I'm going Steelers, but I think it's going to be like a 17-16 close type of game.
Ooh, 17-16. Where you going, George? I see your face.
Well, I like it, Rob, because I was looking at the game this morning, too, and I thought the same thing. I don't know what side to pick, but I do think it's low scoring as well.
All right.
And you know what? Both teams have their struggles in the secondary, But when you have Jalen Ramsey, a guy that gets it done, and I just believe in Mike Tomlin, the continuity that you have overall in Pittsburgh,
You're taking them.
I like the Steelers.
You like
in this
that
one,
score?
especially being in New England. 17-16, yes. If the Patriots are only scoring 16 points, that's scary too because they kind of need to be going quick and fast and to be scoring a ton. So that sounds like the Steelers are keeping them in check. That's a young team.
Okay. I like where you guys are going. I'll go same thing. Clean sweep in terms of close game. Someone's got to do it. Give me the Patriots walk-off like this. 23-20. Pats win, baby. Come on.
He's Rob King, the voice of the Steelers. Rob, appreciate you taking the time. I'll get Trav back. Hey, have a great call this Sunday. And are you going to be staying in Providence or Boston? This is always the important question.
Providence.
Fed Hill.
Nice.
Fed Hill. You know it. You've been calling
No,
games
I've
for
never
all-
been there. This is my first trip.
Okay.
Yeah, my first trip.
All right. Fed
All right.
Hill. Go to Fed
Yep.
Hill in Providence. Fantastic food, fantastic Italian.
He's a mayor,
fantastic
Rob. You better
Portuguese
listen.
As well. Go to Fed Hill in Providence. Ask Bob Sosi, too. He'll point you in the right direction
See?
as well.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Rob, thanks for taking the time. Appreciate you, brother. He's Rob King, the voice of the Steelers. All right.
That's it.
There's a lone wolf right here.
23-20. Pats walk-off win.
I didn't give a final score. I would give it 21-17 Steelers
21-17.
win.
Close
I
game.
think all of us have an under. I
Yeah,
think.
all
If you
low
look at
scoring.
That total.
Yep.
Low scoring game. Hey, this is it for us here on Boston's End of the Chat on Nesson. Catch us on Nesson Nation for hour 2. You know that every day. 8 to 9 a.m. on Nesson, 9 to 10 a.m. on Nesson Nation. Every Monday through Friday, where to catch us. Travis Thomas, George Balekji, Boston's End of the Chat. See ya over on Nesson Nation.